very common mistake after second move knight f3 in the most common beginners opening e4 e5 knight f3 is queen f6. Bringing queen out early into the game, especially in the opening, can only be called a mistake. We're just going to make one exception out of this rule, and we call it Scandinavian defense. In all other cases, bringing queen out early should be a big mistake. What about this queen f6? It's called McConnell's defense, and it happens once in a while to my students. I can say on beginners and medium levels. So when you face queen f6, because some of these guys, they just want to go for some cheaper mistakes, removing that queen, on the king side, threatening on g2, on the king side somehow, going for the scholar's mate. So how do you have to trade this system? You just have to develop your knight to c3. Developing your knight to c3 threatens knight d5. It's a simple space-grabbing move. You also want to jump with the knight on d5 to harass the queen on f6 and also to go after the weak c7 square. And that's a good thing. And it's a fairly logical and easy system here. They gotta go with c6. If they don't go for that, you just jump knight e5, play d4, and do the rest of these things. When they play c6 to prevent knight d5, now we just have to see the drawbacks of the c6 move. They do not have any longer possibility to jump with the knight on c6, which means control of the center will be very debatable by black. And also, when they play c6, you always can consider capturing by queen on d4 when the queen is not on f6. Why do I say that? Because when the queen is on f6, you don't want to capture by queen. You don't want to simply trade the queens off because you're so much ahead in development. So what do you have to do? A simple refutation of the McConnell's defense is d4. What's so special about d4? You want to break in the center, attack the pawn on e5, but most importantly, whether they play d6 or e takes d4, you just play bishop g5. When they do d6, you just play bishop g5, and that's the point. By playing bishop g5, you now threaten the queen, and you now want to take on e5, simply delivering checkmate on d8. So if they go queen g6, you take on e5, and queen d8 is going to happen. If they go queen e6, you take d takes e5, and queen d8 is going to happen if they recapture. If not, we've just won a pawn. Also, after knight c3, c6, d4, if they take, you once again play bishop g5. That's a good thing, and that's a good moment. By attacking this queen, you're just forcing. If the queen goes here, you take, play long castle, and support the pawn and harass the queen with h4 and h5. You want to make the long castle. In the case of bishop g5, queen d6, queen just blocks the bishop on f8, and now you should never capture by queen because they cannot attack it by knight on c6. They cannot fight easily, especially because the light square bishop is trapped. The bishop on f8 is kind of blocked by the existing queen on d6, so you just take on d4. For the rest of the game, just play queen d2, long castles, f4, and launch the attack. Hope you enjoyed this mini series and lecture how to trade these bad openings, including McConnell's defense. Thanks.